Hi there, my name is Katrina Julian and I'm your Lexis rep. Welcome to this session for Law Review Journal Preemption Check. I just wanted to start by saying congratulations to all of you for making it here. I know that journal membership is a prestigious part of law school and it's an exciting time for you, so again, congratulations. In my time with Lexis, I've actually worked one-on-one with hundreds of law students who have written for Law Review and various other journals here and at nearby law schools. I've also trained thousands of students from 1Ls to summer associates at large firms to help make their research assignments easier. In working with previous journal writers, I have actually seen how hard students like you work on their article and the payoff that it provides for all authors, especially those who get chosen for publication. So today, I'll be showing you Lexis's top-notch content and powerful tools, including the 800 plus law reviews and journals you have access to ensure that your topic that you've selected to write about is in fact original and not preempted. Writing your journal article will be a significant part of your law school experience. This is because you will spend dozens of hours researching and writing it, and you will be asked about it throughout your career. It will be a topic of discussion in job interviews, networking events, and conversations with other legal professionals that you may have in the future. Sometimes the process of it all can seem a bit overwhelming, but don't worry, because I'm here and the purpose of this video is to show you how to keep it all manageable and be successful during your journal membership, particularly with the process of preemption checking. So in this video, we will cover first, what preemption actually really means. Second, how to run an effective and thorough preemption check on Lexis. And third, along the way, I'll show you how to make use of those powerful tools to save you time and keep you organized as you write your article. The payoff for you is that you'll then have the knowledge you need to ensure that your article's topic is original and remains original throughout this process so that you can increase your chances of getting published. Further, Lexis is actually the preferred research provider among firms and government agencies here within California, so maybe some of the things we go over today will help carry you through the rest of your law school career and the legal career beyond that. So let's go ahead and get started. What does preemption really mean? Now, the simple definition of preemption is that you cannot write an article that someone else has already written. Preemption checking is an incredibly important, necessary step in this writing process, and a thorough preemption check will assure the originality of your work. Again, like we said before, the more original, the more likely it will be selected for publication. Your initial preemption check can also help you refine a broad topic by suggesting alternate search terms, showing you what has already been discussed and argued, and presenting any unexplored theories left for you to write about. Now remember, preemption checking is not just a one-time thing that you do here at the beginning. We'll go over this together today, but keep in mind, preemption checking is actually an ongoing process, and you should really be running checks regularly on your topic to make sure it remains unique. I'll actually show you in a little bit how to use our Lexis alert system so that you can make this an automated thing and not have to worry about doing it manually every single time. But again, in addition to all of this, during the publication process, your article may change its focus. So it's important to know how to do this preemption check in general so that you can run new checks or update your preemption check alerts to reflect those changes that you've made to your topic. Okay, so a lot of times when I've met with students in the past in their one-on-one preemption checks, they have a general idea of what preemption means, meaning that they have to write about something new and unique and can't write about something that's been written about before. But when the rubber meets the road, or when it comes down to it, sometimes there's a little less clarity as to what it actually means to be preempted or not. So here are a few rough guidelines or factors to consider to determine whether you are actually preempted. Again, these are just rough guidelines to help you as you go through your own preemption check, but again, they're all subject to your individual journal's requirements, and those may vary. So the first thing to consider when you'll probably not be preempted is if you look at the date of publication. That first factor, date of publication, and typically an article will have a shelf life of about 2 years. And this is because what we have seen in the law is that there are usually new and interesting legal developments within that time. So if you find an article that has been published several years ago, but there has been a new case that has evolved through the courts, or a statute that's recently signed into law and it wasn't discussed in that previous article, then you are likely not going to be preempted because you'll have something new to say about that topic. The next factor you might want to look at is the depth of discussion. If you find an article that is 6 sections long and one of those sections is on your topic, that does not mean that you are automatically preempted. If you think about it, most articles range from 20 to 30 pages, so that would mean that one section is probably about 5 to 6 pages. If your entire article's topic is preempted by a 5-page section of another article, you probably did not have a solid topic in the first place. On the other hand, your finished article will likely develop or be fully developed into something more than 5 to 6 pages for that section. The next thing you'll want to consider is a similarity. So let's say you find another article out there that has the same argument but a different conclusion, or it arrives at the same conclusion but got there through a different argument, then you are not automatically preempted. Just keep in mind, if you have an article that's the same argument but you arrive at a different conclusion, that your conclusion has to be based on valid legal reasoning and not just based upon your own personal opinion of why you disagreed with the other author. But again, if you find one that has the same conclusion that you're going to propose, but you plan to use different and independent legal reasoning, then you should likely be okay. Now, on the same idea, if you have something that's the same topic, but you're taking the opposite argument, then that doesn't mean you're automatically preempted either. For instance, let's say you're taking the approach that a particular test announcing a new case or statute is better than what has been in place before, then essentially you're taking the pro argument for that test. But let's say another author has taken a con approach criticizing the new test, then again, that's not enough to preempt you. You might just want to take a look at that article to make sure you're not missing anything, but also use it as a valuable resource and mine its footnotes for its citations. Okay, and then the last factor you might want to think about is the foundation. So if an article has a similar introduction or structure as your proposed article, that's not going to be enough to automatically preempt you. Articles on the same topic will have similar histories or background, and perhaps maybe be even organized with similar sections. But you can think of the introduction and structure of an article as the foundation of a house. So history is history, right? You can't make up facts, but as long as what you build upon from that foundation afterward is original, then you again should be fine. Just keep in mind that with these last few factors, that your argument still has to present an independent and valid legal argument that can be subjected to analysis. Once more, I just want to reiterate the fact that each individual journal may have different specifications and requirements, so if you have any questions or need clarification about this and how it applies to your journal, then you will want to refer to your editor's instructions for that. Okay, now that you've seen what's not going to preempt you, let's talk about what might actually preempt you. So you are going to be preempted or likely preempted if a relatively recent article makes the same argument and comes to the same conclusion, and 1, you can't or don't want to argue the opposite side. Again, remember that this is a topic you'll be working with for a very long time, so you need to be comfortable with it. Or 2, it covers every aspect of your topic. Okay, so now that we've talked about what preemption really means and whether or not you will actually be preempted and some factors to consider for that, let's go ahead and talk about running your preemption check. So if you haven't already, go ahead and log on to Lexis Advance, and let's start at the research homepage. Now, there are a couple of ways you can run a preemption check depending on your particular topic. The first way to do a preemption check is to run a shepherd's search, or run a shepherd's report. The second way is to do a general search term preemption check. Now, you would want to use a shepherd's preemption check if your proposed topic focuses on a case or statute to such a degree that you would say any article out there with the potential to preempt you would have to cite that particular case or statute. So again, if you're focusing so much on a case or statute that any article out there that would preempt you would have to cite to it, then you would want to run a Shepard's preemption search. Today, though, we will focus on the other type of preemption search, or preemption check, and so if the Shepard's preemption check is something you are interested in or that applies to you, then let me know and I can show you how to run one during our one-on-one preemption check together. But, like I said, we're going to run the general search term preemption check today, and this is commonly used by people who are writing more generally about a legal topic or issue. So once you've come up with a topic that interests you, it's important to determine that it has not been written about extensively. If it has been, then that significantly increases the odds that your topic is preempted. So it's best to begin by running a broad search for your topic in law reviews and journals. And Lexis, again, has over 800 law reviews and journals, so you can rest assured that your preemption check will be thorough. Okay, so here on our research homepage, when constructing a general search term preemption check, you want to ask yourself what terms or phrases would appear in an article with the potential to preempt you. So if an article was going to preempt me, what types of search terms or phrases would need to appear in it for it to actually apply directly to my topic? For example, an initial search term preemption check on medical marijuana in the workplace could look something like this. In the red search box, I'm going to type in employ with a root extender or workplace within 25 words of the phrase medical marijuana. Now, take note here, this root extender, or what looks like an exclamation point, is actually going to help me find results that include the word employ, employs, employer, employee, employed, employing. And so it will help me, again, find more words related to that, or search results related to that. And this W/25 within 25 words, because I want all of this to appear within 25 words of that phrase, medical marijuana. If you're someone who would like a refresher or needs to want to get more familiar with how to use our connectors, you can go to this advanced search link at the top of your red search box for a quick guide as to how to use our common connectors to run a targeted search. So I'm just going to run this search and find our results. And once our search results appear, we can then apply the appropriate filters to narrow down to the articles with the most potential to preempt us. Now here in our search results page, the first filter we'll want to look in is our secondary materials. This is because this is where we'll find our law reviews and journals, our treatises, our practice guides, and everything else. So let's go ahead and first filter on the left-hand side in this gray box by our secondary materials. And continuing to scroll on the left-hand side, because I have 567 results, I want to continue to narrow my results to what's most relevant. Now over here, I can narrow by category in this box, and if it's not open for you, if it looks like that, then you just want to click on the arrow on the left-hand side to open up that box. And then here I can filter by category to my law reviews and journals. This is because typically law reviews and journals are the only types of sources that can preempt a law review article. Now in the past, students have asked whether treatises or practice guides or any type of other book can preempt you. And again, the answer is typically no, but you will want to double check with your journal's requirements and your editor to be sure. So once we've done that, so I've narrowed secondary materials by my law reviews and journals, and I have a decent amount of results. But let's say I want to filter more because, as we talked about earlier, one of the factors we wanted to look at, right, was our date of publication. So if I continue scrolling here on the left-hand side, I'll find this filter for my timeline. Again, if it's not open, just click that arrow, open it up, and I'm just going to move the arrow over to reflect from 2014 to 2016 because I want to find any of these secondary materials, law reviews, and journals that have been published within the last 2 years. So I'll hit OK here. And at this point, we'll want to take a look at the number of results that we've retrieved that you can find here in the parentheses at the top of your page. This is because you want to find yourself within a range of 50 to 150 or 200 results. Now, this signals to us a couple of things. Too few results, so less than 50, can indicate that your topic might not yet be ripe or is so new and novel that you won't have enough to say or base your legal argument on. And then too many results, on the other hand, would indicate that the topic is so overdone that it would likely be difficult for you to bring a new contribution to the discussion. Don't forget also, if you started broadly and you have way more results than that range, you can always filter over here on the left-hand side to search within your results. Okay, but from here, from our results list, you'll want to browse your list of results by reading the titles of the articles and then taking a look at the date of publication, as well as browsing through where your highlighted search terms appear in the preview. If there are things in here that catch your attention, then it's probably going to be something that you'll want to review. For example, we see that there's this note here titled Protecting Medical Marijuana Users in the Workplace. It's been published in 2015, and it's talking about prohibiting an employer from discriminating against a medical marijuana user. So this looks like it might be on point with my topic. I would want to click on it, so let's go ahead and open that up. And what you'll find is that almost all articles will contain a section in the introduction that sets forth exactly what will be discussed in the article. So review this section to determine if you actually need to read through the whole article or parts of the article, or if you find that maybe this is not even on your topic at all and would not preempt you. So let's go back. And again, the initial search and subsequent article review can help you further refine your topic. So if you found that this particular article is talking about everything in general, but then maybe there's an area for you to discuss medical marijuana use in workplaces that have drug-free or zero-tolerance policies, you can do that. You can find if that didn't even touch upon, if this article didn't touch upon that, then, or didn't go into too much depth, then maybe that's something that you can then refine your topic into. And again, you can always just type it into the search within results filter over here. So I'm going to do drug-free or zero tolerance and refine your search that way. Okay. And then of course you would want to review the results the same exact way and then go from there. Now let's talk about some really helpful tools that Lexis has that you can take advantage of to help you out. The first thing I want to discuss with you is our foldering system. Take advantage of Lexis's foldering system to help you stay organized as you write your law review article, and then you can also use it to save time in quickly accessing the materials that you've researched. So over here at the top of our page, we find this folder icon. Now let's say that we've ran this search and we have all these results, but we can't go through every single title and review the search terms all in one sitting. Let me say like I am just doing it real quick and then I have to go to class or something like that. Then I can just save this entire results list into my folder, so then that way I can go back to it and review it again further later. So if you don't already have a folder for law review or your article, your journal article set up, you just want to click on this folder icon, go to choose a folder at the bottom of the drop-down, just like that, and then over here on the right-hand side you have this white Create New Folder tab. So let's say I'm going to do International Law Journal, hit Create, and then I can save that list into my folder for International Law Review, or International Law Journal, I'm sorry. The other thing is, if we find more articles like this first one that's talking about medical marijuana users in the workplace, and as I'm browsing through this list, I'm saying, okay, maybe this is one I want to save too, no employment protection for medical marijuana users, I can select which articles I want to actually put into my folder. The difference here is the first time we saved the results list into our folder, but now these are ones that I actually want to review more fully or more carefully, so I want to actually put the entire document or the entire article into my review. I can select which ones I want by clicking on those boxes to the left of it, hit my folder icon again, and then select which folder I want it to go into, and then that way I don't have to look at it now, but I can always go back to it later to determine whether it's actually going to preempt me, but also to mine it again for those valuable footnotes and resources that I can use for my citations. The other really helpful tool on Lexis to save you time and energy is our alert system. Now, Lexis can automatically monitor changes to this search results list so that you actually don't have to enter your search terms manually every single time and apply your filters at each time you run a search. So all you would need to do is find this bell icon at the top of your screen right next to our search terms. Click on that to create an alert. Now in this overview tab you see here, these are the search terms that we started with in our red search box, so that's what it's going to monitor for us. And then in this monitor tab on the right of that tab, we find that it's actually remembered or saved the filters we applied. So we started with our secondary materials and narrowed by our law reviews and journals within the last 2 years. So that's what it's going to continue to monitor for us. And then in the Deliver tab next to it, here's where you can set for how long you actually want Lexis to keep track of this for you. You can choose whether you want to receive it online or email online. So meaning you can actually get all of these alerts sent directly to your email, as well as you can find it on your research homepage or in the More drop-down on Lexis Advanced for any alerts that might come up. So here's where you would enter your email address. So I'll just put mine in to show you for example. And you can choose how often you want to receive it. So as updates are available will probably be most helpful for me here so that I can see every time this search results list changes. So go ahead and create alert. And we'll go through this in our one-on-one preemption check, but if you need help or want to create more alerts, you can always contact me or your student reps and we'll be happy to set them up for you. As I mentioned before, if your topic shifts its focus, you'll want to make sure you run another search term preemption check to reflect how you've refined your topic. So if this is the case, just make sure that any alerts you created for it, that you've edited it or deleted it to reflect those changes. Okay, so going back to our research homepage, then you can see where I'll find this alert. Here's that alert, as well as my folder for International Law Journal. Okay, so in conclusion, just to recap, we've reviewed the factors to consider when determining whether you are actually preempted, and we've ran through the steps of conducting a general search term preemption check. Don't forget, there's a Shepherd's preemption check, and I'm happy to go through that with you in our one-on-one if you feel that that's something you would want to do. And then along the way, we also went over how using our folders and alerts on Lexis can help save you time and energy to hopefully make this a less stressful and more manageable process for you. If you have any questions regarding your research for your article or preemption checking, this, again, isn't the end of our time together. I will see many of you for your upcoming one-on-one preemption checks so that we can go over it, particularly as it relates to your topic. But in the meantime, if you, again, have any questions about this, you have solid support options. You actually can contact me, your Lexis rep, via email or text at any time. And your Lexis student representatives, some of them are current journal members and past writers, so they can be a very valuable resource to you as well. They're available to assist you, and you can find their contact information and hours on our law school homepage. Also, of course, you have live support options that include live chat online. So under the More drop-down on Lexis Advanced, you can access live chat online Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or you can directly call one of our super smart research attorneys at 1-800-45-LEXIS. They're available to you 24/7. Now, don't forget, only on Lexis can you actually earn rewards points for doing the research and looking up all of these articles for yourself. And again, take advantage of our free unlimited printing that we offer for you, or offer to you throughout this process. But at this point, good luck to all of you, and thank you for your time today. I really look forward to working with you soon.